450 action. What's going on? First and foremost, I do have to say something about the broadcast opened up about the whole Marv and Malcolm Stewart incident.
You can't race like that, okay? We got 6 people racing to go. You can't do that. Okay, you want passion?
There's no way in hell you can say that that was Malcolm's fault. They were both racing for a podium. Marv cleaned both of them out, knocked both of them down. Completely different story is if he were to stay back up. Yeah, they would have still had words, etc. Well, this is the problem when you have a hierarchy of...
To talk to Roger DaCosta. Roger is the director of motorsports for their manufacturers. So both of these athletes under his watchful eye. His take on it? Well, he said the blame split evenly between the two. He said...
One manufacturer owning 3 different brands, Gas Gas, Husky, and KTM. You want everybody to play nice, or else it's going to be a PR nightmare, right? So what does Roger DaCosta do? He tries to defuse the situation by saying they were both at fault. What the fuck is that? No, there's no way. No way that they were both equally at fault. That is the path of least resistance. That is this whole trying to avoid this cancel culture nonsense. Come on. Let's just say it how it is. If you're going to find a rider, I would say find Marv. If you need to use some sort of an example, having a public statement just saying that they're both equally at fault is Yeah. So there was only 41 riders. That meant everybody went to the night show. You can see that this is round 2. This is in Texas. One of the biggest areas for our sport besides, I would say, California and Florida. And there's only 41 riders that signed up in the 450 class. There's 44 in the 250 class, but still, you got to beat one guy to get it in the night program, to get paid.
2 hours later.
And with the track, no triples, just one giant silly double that everyone had to go to the inside to jump because the outside was the long way around. And our track was very one line, I thought, very one line. The rhythms, I was hoping were going to have a little bit different of an option to them. The only real thing that I saw that people were doing much differently, that I thought there was times to do it, times not to do it, was there was this, riders were quadding over and then singling into a corner when sometimes they could just triple on, triple off, which most of the 250s were doing. And sometimes that seemed potentially faster. And after the second whoop section, they had that little option there on the inside. Stupid, right? You know, if you're going to do something, you should have put the option on the outside, that if you knew it was the slower of the 2 options, well, guys are going to automatically go to the outside after the whoops, so it would take a little bit more finesse and some luck to make the inside. One thing I did notice was Heat 2, Kenny. Man, Kenny had a rough night. From main event to heat race to qualifying, with ironically having his teammate sort of hit his head. Yeah, when you're in a shit ton of whoops that are 10 feet tall, you don't really want to check up. I will leave that how it is. It's just ironic that it was Sexton, who they're basically doing the same thing over at Yamaha as well as HRC. Between 2 riders, you've got Dylan and then you've got Tomac, 2 guys that can win. Yes, I do say that Dylan can win. He proves it with his speed, and anyone that says that he's not a good supercross rider, watch anything that he's done on the 250. So Sexton and Roxon, they are fighting for who's going to basically be team captain. Get all the goodies, right? Get all the goodies. Kenny's on his way out, so obviously that is going to Sexton in time. How soon is the question. So Kenny's trying to hold it back there. Going forward to Heat 2, it looked like his hole shot button didn't actually disengage until he was a little bit into the rhythm section right after the first turn. So I guess let's look at it. And then in the main event, I do have to point out as well with AC, dude, the AC, that scenario of that kind of an injury takes a while. You know, the way you get a surgery to fix it is you take some damn ligaments and you wrap it and shove your back into the AC socket in your shoulder. And you're not allowed to lift anything for like 6 months. Not allowed to lift any weights whatsoever. So the fact that he's back out riding inside of 3 weeks, like this is a surgery that he might have at the end of his career, you know, because you can live with it. Like mine, whenever I do like muscle ups or something, it clicks a little bit, but it no longer hurts doing push-ups and things of that nature. And most of the time the injury happens just when you land hard on your shoulder and you're not wearing like proper equipment, which again, I don't know why these guys don't wear the Travis Pastrana, Kevin Windham type chest protectors anymore. Have the shoulder pads. Have the shoulder pads. It just doesn't look cool. You know, you gotta have loosey-goosey just t-shirt on, right? But where I'm going with this, because I'm digressing, is in the main event, they talked about all the money that they spent in recovery.
He's invested quite a bit of money in a special medical device that he has been routinely using that helps revitalize his cells, to help accelerate the healing process. He's been doing
Am I interjecting there? Saying all the money that you're spending medically to make sure that you can do something that's so abnormal in the sport, in any sport, because the average healing span of something like this is right around 3 months. And I don't know about you guys, but evolution hasn't come that far to where all of a sudden we have Wolverines out there now that are able to heal quicker than us without other things at play. I'll leave it at that. You guys comment what you think I'm talking about in the comments below. Brief little talk about Jason Anderson. Got it done. That dude is very hard to read on an outside looking in because you don't really know what's going on with him because you're not in his group. You just see what he wants people to see on his social media and Team Fried. But the dude looks like he's got it figured out. You know, he's older, more mature now. All these, like I said, these guys are becoming vet riders. Seems like he's good with his money. Shows up at the track with a Prius. Now he's on a team that's more sniper-ish approach, at least from what I've heard, than the Husky, where it's a little bit loosier, goosier. Not saying that one way is wrong. It just, some riders could be better in a situation where, you know, it's more on them as opposed to the group. Because you got like Star Racing Yamaha that has a bunch of guys. It's a huge team. And then you have Kawasaki, which is much smaller, much focused team on just a couple riders. It is looking good. You can't really rule him out because back in 2018 it was a huge surprise. Now, I don't think it's a surprise. I think it's a culmination of the compound effect. It's everything that you've done over the last few years that get you to where you are right now, and now you start seeing fruition on all the fucking time and effort, and boom, you're making it happen. So let me know in the comments below if you agree or disagree. I will get back with you, hopefully, maybe. Unless you make me cry, then I might just go to the bathroom, go to the corner, you know. Talk about poor Johnny. But man, it's heating up to be a good Supercross series. I'm actually excited to watch to see how this plays out. As long as everybody stays healthy, you've got guys that are one weekend third, the next weekend they're ninth, etc. These guys are all inside the top 10. Their lap times are right within tenths of each other. Like, you got to have everything. You got to have the racecraft, you got to have the speed, you got to have the fitness, you got to have the bike, and most importantly, you got to have a little bit of luck. And then right up there with confidence and everything. So, where is it looking like is moving forward? Am I going to change who I think is going to win the series as far as Dylan Ferrandis? Because you all heard my rant with Cooksey and Coach saying that I thought Dylan was going to win the series. I don't know why I laughed just there, because it's appearing that I am wrong. However, I still have faith. All it takes is one turnaround in order to get that big confidence boost like he did in outdoors. That's all it takes. So I'm not changing it. Looking more and more like it's not possible. Webb is looking and Kenny's looking more like the guys that are going to get it done, as long as Kenny doesn't have bad luck, because Webb is going to capitalize on it. So that's all I have for this week's episode of the Full Fitties. Till next time, it's Johnny F. and Hopper. Whoa, 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 whoa.